And welcome back, everybody. I am Chuck Cooley. This is Aaron Meckleberry, and we are here for the Rebel Gear Buckeye Classic being held in Dublin, Ohio. We want to thank all of our sponsors for making this event possible. Again, Rebel Gear obviously is our sponsor host. Also, Hoyt, Easton Technical Products, Lancaster Archery Supply, Black Rifle Coffee Company. Glad to have those guys on board. Win and Win. Easton Foundations, and our target or our backstop sponsor is Whitetail Targets. What we are looking at here is the senior recurve women. Now, senior in USA Archery does not mean over 50. It is more or less the adults. And who do we have here? Aaron, this is kind of your world. You shoot in the recurve division. We've got Molly Nugent and Ashley Kim. Ashley Kim is shooting on target number 2. Molly Nugent shooting on target number 1. Molly, first one up, and wow, feel this wind pick up
the wind just picked up.
That we did not have in the first couple matches.
Yeah, Molly was ranked higher, and so she elected to shoot first.
And she's got her first arrow down there for just a low 8.
8 on target 2.
And Ashley Kim is a little wide right.
Yeah, they're both
8.
feeling the wind now as it's picking up.
Yeah, that one's really high, up around the 2 o'clock range. That is going to score a 7. It's well into the 7.
Yeah, it's higher, so she obviously tried to...
Just missed the 10 ring there for Ashley.
Yeah, both of them are feeling that wind, and they're trying to adjust. Not enough time to move their sights, so they're probably aiming off just enough to hopefully the arrows will drift in.
Yep, Molly made a good adjustment there. She's back into the 9 ring. Ashley lost that one way right. That is a 5. Now, you mentioned a fun fact a few minutes ago. Both of these archers are fairly new to this medal match.
Yeah, this is Molly's very first time ever shooting in a medal match for her USAC career. And I believe the same goes for Ashley, at least for seniors.
Right.
As a junior, she did all right. I didn't really follow her that much back then because I was already a senior. But
you're just looking over your shoulder at the young ones.
As the new ones are coming up, yeah.
No, I remember doing that when I was in the senior division, and I thought to myself, I can't wait to make it to Masters because these new guys coming up were so good. Now, Ashley, she qualified 15th. Molly qualified 13th. So I found that interesting because it's middle of the Packers. It wasn't your number 1 seeds, your number 2s, your number 3s. They got eliminated early.
Yeah, no, there was a few upsets. Ashley Kim was actually the one who took me out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
so
she and I met.
Cheering for her now, though, right?
I'm cheering for both of them. Both of them are my friends. I've known them for a while. So yeah, Ashley Kim's a resident athlete. That's Chris Webster standing behind her, and
right.
Matt Knofel is also a resident athlete, even though Molly is not. But he's standing behind her.
Now, resident athlete meaning that they live in Chula Vista at the Olympic Training Center?
It's no longer the Olympic Training Center. The Chula Vista town bought it, so it's the Elite Athlete Training Center.
Elite Athlete Training Center.
Yeah, but yeah, it used to be the Olympic Training Center.
Was the OTC, right?
Yeah.
So, and again, as we see in this match that we saw in our very first match, that if you were tuned in earlier, in the compound women's division, there was coaches in the box. And what that means is you have somebody standing behind you, kind of giving you pointers, giving you tips, shoot strong, telling you where your arrows are landing and things like that, because these ladies are shooting at a target that is 70 meters away. And for those of you that don't know how to do that math really quick, that's 77 yards. 70, it's 3/4 of a football field. And they're trying to shoot an arrow that's roughly 1/4 of an inch in diameter, with no peep for alignment or anything like that, no release to help.
No, that's illegal. Yeah.
Yep. They can have a finger tab, and if you see it on camera, it's like a little piece of leather, more or less, that kind of protects the fingers, right?
Yeah, just, I mean, we still get calluses from how many arrows we shoot over and over and over again, but the leather protects them just a little bit more.
6.
So let's take a look at those first 2 arrows. Molly's out there for 6.
8.
Ashley, her first 2 arrows. Now, she must have made a big adjustment because both of those are left side 8s. Pretty good group for 70 yards away or 70 meters away.
Yeah, and the wind just died, so.
Molly picks up a left side 9. A little high, a little left. Ashley is a low 8. Let's see what Molly gets in there for her third arrow. That's going to be a low 7.
Yeah, she doesn't look happy with that arrow.
This whole game with recurve, much more complicated than compound. In my opinion, I think it takes a fair amount of skill and art to be very proficient at this level. Would you agree?
I would believe so, especially like since we're in the set system now, so rather than it being cumulative, the highest score will win 2 points, and if they tie, then it's 1 point, and the first person to 6 points wins. So, in theory, one archer could have a complete miss and have, like, if they shoot 2 10s after that, 20 points. And the other archer could have a 29, but the person who shot 20 could still win the match if they are able to bring it back, because they're only down 2 points.
Yeah, with the other ends, because it's not that cumulative score like we saw in compound, where you have to try to make up for it. Really, you just have to win end to end.
Yeah, just end to end.
And it's a race to 6. And what do we do if we get a tie?
If you get a tie and it's 5-5, you go to a 1 arrow shoot off, and that is, again, closest to the center wins, since they got rid of the rule of if you shoot 2 10s, it's an automatic reshoot.
And does it go down to that 2mm rule that we talked about?
It does. It goes down to the 2mm rule again. I've had that happen to me as well. It's like,
good side or bad side?
no, they called it against me, unfortunately.
So
Yes.
let's see. With this match currently is tied 2-2. Now, Molly scored a 22 on her last end, and Ashley scored a 24. But to your point, the overall points don't matter. It's really the set system. So we're tied at 2-2.
Yeah, the only time now that the arrow average is involved is now just for national ranking.
And then you hear the buzzer go off. That gives them 20 seconds to fire their arrow.
Yeah, and
Oh,
since they are tied 2-2, Molly will shoot first again.
Just as we are, just as we reset there. So Molly's first arrow will score an 8. It's just a little low right. Ashley's first arrow is a little low left, but it scores a 9. So she's ahead by 1 point in the score, which will determine the points for the set. Really good looking arrow, just off the 10 ring for a 9. Then you can feel the wind here at the stage die down quite a bit, but if you look at the flags at the target, they're really blowing pretty good. And there's a 10.
10.
Ashley sends one in for a 10. So overall, we've got 19 points versus 17. Her last arrow low for a 7.
Yeah, and both of them being this their first time, they're probably feeling those nerves and got to remind themselves that
Another
everyone
9.
feels the nerves. You got to still shoot that shot.
Yeah, you got to get that off. You got to try to trust your training there. So a 10-9-9 for Ashley. So that's going to be 28-24. Ashley will pick up 2 more points, and now it's 4-2.
4-2. So if Ashley wins the next set, she
It's
wins
over.
the match.
She wins the goal.
So Molly has to be able to
She's-
settle down and
Yep.
bring it back up.
Now, if she splits it and it goes 5-3,
Then we still go
we
into
still
the one.
get one more.
Yeah.
So if they tie, we could get one more end out of it. Good match so far, and you see, off camera there, I can see Chris kind of chatting with Ashley, trying to lighten up the mood just a little bit.
Yeah, probably
Trying to-
telling her it's like watching the flags.
Right? Yeah. And he's really good at that, trying to.
Yeah, he was a shooter himself, so he knows.
And very
how to do it.
accomplished as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, yeah. So he knows what she's going through, what she's feeling.
Yeah, same thing with Matt Knofel. He's
Yep.
watching the flags and probably telling Molly just kind of watch it and nice, easy, strong shot.
Now, do you have time to pay attention to that as a recurve? Now, as a compounder, once we get on target, it's You only got a few seconds and you're letting it go. Are you guys really paying attention to that?
Depending
through
on the
your shot
archer,
cycle?
most archers, like since during the regular elimination rounds, we don't usually have a coach standing behind us, so we do have to pay attention. And obviously, when we're at full draw, it's like we're committed to the shot most of the time and trying to be very focused. So you might see it out of the corner of your eye, but it's also very much of a feel. You can feel the wind against you. And
So you've kind of already made the decision. I'm going to hold left side or right side
yeah,
here. And
yeah, you have to be confident in yourself that you're able to guess right, and if you didn't, then you want to correct it for the next time.
Right. So we'll see Molly leading off here, and she cut the line on the 9 ring. So that goes to our point here earlier that you need only to touch the line to get the higher value, and Molly has split that 9 ring in half.
9.
Ashley matches her with a left side 9. Both ladies starting off on the left side of the target. Maybe holding off a little. What do you think?
Down here at the line, it's a little
arrow.
light. The flags are fluttering a little bit, so if they have their sights where they want them to, they're probably holding just a little bit into the 9 ring, but not much.
Wow, X for X there. Both ladies, I mean, Ashley absolutely center punched it. Molly's definitely a solid X, well inside the 10 ring there.
Yeah, she's got to be thrilled with that shot. Nice, strong shot.
Just off the 10 ring. So that'll be a 28.
So if
Let's
Ashley
see.
wants to win, she has to shoot a 10.
Oh, tall 9. So they've tied.
All right, so that will take it to 5-3.
That'll be 5-3. So we're going to get one more end out of this.
Yes,
right?
we are. Yeah.
Yep.
And this time around, Molly has to win to make it to 5-5, because if they tie, then it'll be 6-4, and the match will go to Ashley.
And Ashley will win outright.
Yep.
So it's win or go home at this point.
Yep. Yeah, this is where all that practice comes in, and got to calm those nerves and know you have to shoot that shot.
And you think coming off of an end like this where she just shot very well, all 3 arrows in the yellow, right? Everything in the gold. Does that build your confidence going into that last end? Do you
It
get a little more
certainly
excited?
can, because like if you're not, if the wind hasn't changed, then you know where you aimed. You're going to probably aim there in the exact same spot and
Do that same thing and
do
just
that same thing.
try to get a nice clean release. And
Yep.
now these ladies, what do you think they're pulling for draw weight?
I'd probably have to say at least in the low 40s, probably 42, 40.
That's still a
Yeah.
fair amount of weight.
It is. It is for the women. It's like on the senior side, they average anywhere between 38 and 42. And that is what we pull on our 3 fingers.
That's on the fingers. Yeah,
Yep.
it's not like a compound where it's 60 pounds, but there's a let off and you're only holding 15, 18, 20 pounds, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, this is 42 to 45 pounds or a little more all the way back.
Yeah, there was a study done a while back where you pull that back 1,000 times a week, and we're holding technically up to a ton of weight.
That's a bit. So we're getting the flag to start again here from the official. He gives us the point. Ladies approach the line.
Molly will shoot first.
We're just waiting for the buzzer here.
Had a little technical difficulty with the timers,
Yep.
so we're going to quickly reset them so Molly will get her time.
And this happens from time to time. It's not unheard of to have a little technical glitch there.
Yeah, it happened to me during the Pan Am Games
Yeah.
back when it was in Lima, Peru, when I was shooting against Mexico, and had to reset real fast.
Yeah.
9.
Great arrow just under the 10 ring there
Yeah, nice.
for Molly
solid.
with her first arrow. Puts a little bit of pressure. That's right on the edge. That's going to be a judge's call. I've got a spotting scope, and I can barely, if I had to call it from here, I'd say it's out, but it's super, super, super close. That's low. That's probably going to cut the 9 line as well. Great group initially.
Yeah, she's giving a few clicks to her sight.
Yep, she's hanging just a little low there. See Ashley's second arrow. Ooh, tall 8, really tall 8.
Yeah.
So
And with
depending on how that first arrow score, we could be tied
we
here,
could be tied.
or she could have a lead.
Yeah. And at this distance, if you just have a little different pressure on your fingers, they could send them differently.
And that's a tall 9.
9.
So unofficially, I'm going to call it 999 from here. Let's take a look at this last arrow here. 10, right in the X.
All right.
X.
So this is really going to come down to that very first arrow call. If that's called in, then the match is over. If that's called a 9, then they both push at 27. And either way, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a tie
would go to Ashley.
would go to Ashley.
Yeah, it all depends on what that judge says. And I mean, it's still nice that even you lose, you still want that arrow to be called in.
Yeah, you still want it to be called in, but ultimately at the end of the day here, this match is gonna go to Ashley, even if it's a tie. So congratulations to her. Wow, come up on your first medal match and win it.
There you go.
Isn't that the way the
start.
day goes, right?
Yeah,
That's
and
the way
for the last USAT of the year, it's a
Mhm.
good way to finish it.
Yeah, and it comes down to the last end and the last arrow. You see, the script was written that way. It's
Yeah.
perfect for her. She'll be able to tell the story better than us.
Yes.
So, we'll officially get the answer from the judges here, but definitely this is going to go to Ashley Kim. Congratulations to her for winning the senior recurve women's division here at the USA Archery Rebel Gear Buckeye Classic in Dublin, Ohio.